Have you ever wondered if those little changes you're noticing are just part of getting older, or if there's something more to them? As men age, certain physical signs start to appear. Some are obvious, and one you might even smell before you realize what it is. These aren't just random occurrences, they're indicators of how your body is changing over time. We're going to explore 4 key signs of aging in older men that you really shouldn't ignore. Understanding these shifts can be surprisingly insightful and give you more control over how you age. First up, the unmistakable smell of aging. It's a phenomenon that's hard to miss once you've encountered it. If you've ever been in a nursing home or spent time with an older relative, you might have noticed a distinct scent. It's not about hygiene or overpowering cologne. It's something more fundamental, rooted in the body's biology, unfolding at the cellular level as part of the natural aging process. As men age, the skin undergoes subtle biochemical changes. One of the key players is a compound called non-nanol, often just called nanol. This molecule emerges when fatty acids in the skin break down, a process accelerated by oxidative stress from years of exposure to sunlight, pollution, and metabolic byproduct. The result is a scent that some people notice more than others. It's often described as thinly grassy, waxy, or slightly stale, sometimes like old books or weathered wood. What makes nanol different from regular body odor is its persistence. Typical body odor comes from bacteria and sweat, but nanol binds fabrics and embeds itself in the skin, resisting standard soaps. For aging men, this means catching a whiff even after showering, as if it's become a permanent part of their skin and clothing. In youth, skin regenerates, shedding dead cells and flushing away oils easily. But as we age, this slows down. The skin's defenses weaken, its ability to repair diminishes, and the oxidized fatty acids that create nanol accumulate. With less cell turnover and a decline in oil regulation, the scent becomes more noticeable. Consider the story of Arthur, a 75-year-old retired history professor from Vermont. Arthur always took pride in his appearance and meticulous grooming habits. Yet, a few years ago, he began to detect a faint, lingering odor on his freshly laundered shirts, one he couldn't quite identify. At first, he attributed it to a musty drawer or a change in laundry detergent. He tried different brands, switched to unscented products, and even aired his clothes outside on the line. Yet, the scent persisted. Then, during a visit from his grandchildren, his 10-year-old granddaughter, Lily, piped up with an innocent observation, "Grandpa, you smell like old paper." That was Arthur's light bulb moment. The scent wasn't coming from his environment, it was coming from him. His skin, after decades of faithful service, had begun to tell a new story through its chemistry. Scientific studies have identified nanol as appearing in trace amounts after age 40, triggered by a decline in antioxidant defenses. By the time men reach their 70s, production increases, and the scent becomes more detectable. Researchers in Japan have even called it the aging odor. While nanol production can be stopped entirely, there are ways to manage it. Specialized soaps can help break down and lift the compound from the skin. Foods rich in antioxidants like citrus fruits, green tea, and leafy greens can counteract oxidative stress. Adding baking soda or vinegar to your laundry can also help strip fabrics of the scent. So, if you've ever noticed an unfamiliar scent on yourself or a loved one, it's likely nanol, a natural byproduct of the body's journey through time. It's not a flaw, just a fact of life. If you're finding this helpful, give us your feedback in the comments, and let's continue to explore these aging signs. Next, a bigger belly that won't budge. It's one of the most noticeable and frustrating signs of aging for men. It's not just about extra pizza slices, there's more at play. As men age, physiological changes make them a magnet for fat accumulation. Metabolism slows, muscle mass decreases, and testosterone levels drop, all contributing to fat storage in the abdomen. You might find that even without significant changes in your eating habits, your pants feel tighter around the waist. Consider David, a 68-year-old who prided himself on staying lean. He wasn't a fitness fanatic, but he ate well and stayed active. Yet, he noticed a protruding belly that contrasted with his thinning arms and legs. His body was redistributing fat, favoring the abdomen while muscle dwindled elsewhere. It wasn't just about appearance. David found tying his shoes more difficult, and walking uphill left him winded. Excess abdominal fat, called visceral fat, is metabolically active and releases inflammatory compounds that raise the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline. Men with larger waistlines often report exhaustion, joint pain, and restless nights, all linked to belly fat. So, what can be done? It's not about quick fixes. Instead, tackle the underlying causes. Resistance training can rebuild lost muscle mass. Prioritizing protein helps preserve muscle while controlling hunger. Reducing processed carbs and sugary treats can stabilize insulin levels. While some padding is inevitable, controlling it can make a big difference. Here's a curious one: your ears don't stop growing as you get older. While muscles shrink and fat shifts, your ears keep expanding. It's not a dramatic change, but over time, it becomes noticeable. Cartilage, the flexible tissue that shapes the outer ear, keeps growing throughout life. Gravity also pulls the ears downward, stretching them out. The skin around the ears loses elasticity, offering less resistance to this downward drift. Studies estimate that ears grow by about 0.22 mm per year, so they can be significantly larger in your 70s or 80s. Consider Michael, a 72-year-old retired architect with a keen eye for detail. One day, while looking through an old photo album, he came across a picture from his college graduation 50 years earlier. He barely recognized the young man staring back at him, not because of the hair or the clothes, but because of the ears. Back then, they were neat and proportionate, blending seamlessly with his features. Now, they were longer, wider, and noticeably droopier, with earlobes that had thinned out and stretched like taffy over time. This ear expansion is a near universal experience among older men. While cartilage growth drives the process, loss of collagen and elastin in the skin accelerates the effect. Is there anything to be done about it? Not much can stop cartilage growth, but you can soften the visual impact. Keeping the skin around your ears healthy and elastic can make a difference. Staying hydrated, eating foods rich in collagen-boosting nutrients, and shielding your ears from sun damage can slow the sagging. Embracing the change with humor is also a good approach. Finally, the disappearing calves. As men age, one of the most striking transformations occurs in the lower extremities, particularly the calves. One day, you might notice that the once robust calves you took pride in have diminished in shape and size. This is muscle atrophy, where muscle mass gradually erodes over time. It's driven by hormonal shift, reduced activity levels, and changes in the circulatory system. As men age, levels of testosterone and growth hormone decline, causing the body to break down muscle tissue faster than it can regenerate it. Even if you're still walking daily, the intensity may not match your younger years. Reduced blood flow deprives muscles of oxygen and nutrients. Consider James, a 70-year-old retiree who had worked in construction for most of his life. His calves were once his pride, sculpted and sturdy from years of constant use. But as he approached his late 60s, he began to notice a change. The muscle that once bulged beneath the skin had softened and shrunk, leaving his legs looking thinner and feeling weaker. Everyday tasks that he once breezed through, climbing a flight of stairs, rising from a low chair without gripping the armrests, or even standing for long periods, became noticeably more taxing. Strong calves are essential for mobility, providing power and stability. When they weaken, balance suffers, the risk of falling increases, and walking pace slows. However, this decline isn't irreversible. You can slow the process and even reclaim some of that lost muscle. Exercises like calf raises can reawaken muscle fibers. Use resistance bands or try brisk walking on an incline to boost strength and circulation. Protein is the building block of muscle, so ensure your diet includes ample sources. Now that we've explored these 4 signs of aging in older men, take a moment to consider what you've learned. Maybe it's the signs behind the aging odor, the belly fat, or the changes in your ears and calves. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this information insightful and helpful, consider supporting our work by subscribing and turning on notifications. This way, you'll never miss out on our latest content designed to help you navigate the journey of aging with knowledge and confidence. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.